Good morning, everybody. It's Dr. Vibe here, host and producer of the award-winning Dr. Vibe Show, the home of Epic Conversations, and I'm the host of Epic Conversations 2020, Best Podcast News Award winner, 2018 Innovation Award winner, given out by the Canadian Ethnic Media Association. I also co-host and co-produce the only online show in the world for dads and fathers. It's sponsored by Dove Men Plus Care. And being part of that team in 2022 and 2021, reached out directly and indirectly to over 100,000 fathers around the world. So as always, I like to say, it's the Morning Vibe, broadcasting live December 1st, the first day of the last month of the new, I was going to say the new year, of this year. I'm already pushing into 2024. So hold the brakes. We still got some days left. I want to say thanks to everyone for watching live or on the replay. My co-host Ryan Knight will not be with me today because one of his kids has volleyball. So, hey, family, no problem. Family over any show, definitely most important. So let's get some homework or work out of the way first. Please subscribe to the Dr. Vibe Show on YouTube. Subscribe and hit the notification button so you get notified. I want to thank all the people who have, are, and will be subscribing going forward. Fantastic. Also, follow the Dr. Vibe Show on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. We appreciate that. Also, whatever platforms Ryan is on, please follow. Please, please, please. Also, join the Morning Vibe Discord group. So please email me at dr.vibe@the.vibe.show.com. Got a lot of good, robust conversation. I'm sharing some stuff that I don't get a chance to share with Ryan or myself on this platform. So please check us out there. And also, if you want to advertise your business, product, or service on the Morning Vibe, email me again, dr.vibe@the.vibe.show.com. And yeah, and people may or may not realize it, but we have, for a long time, the McMillan Group has been a longtime sponsor of ours, and we're getting close to announcing another sponsor. And actually, we have another promo today that's a Black business supporting what we do on the Morning Vibe. So, hope everyone is doing well. Let's see who's chimed in this morning. All right, Fit Nats IQ Cam, KSF, EYL, RWFQ is here. And it's her birthday month, December born. So it's her birthday month. Good stuff. What's everyone up to? What's been going on? I guess this week has been a very positive, productive week. I had the opportunity to do people like to say presentation, like to say I did a sharing session this week for an organization called Innovation Guelph that's located in the Southwest Ontario region. An hour and a half sharing session about sponsorships to about a group online of about 30 entrepreneurs. Had a great time, enjoyed it immensely. Lots of fun doing that. What else? Introduced some people together who had not met before. Also had the opportunity there. I'm doing some heart work with some African refugees and hopefully getting them employment and placement in this country called Canada and this city called Toronto. What else? A lot of different things, looking at new team members, etc., etc. Good morning, Opal Inspired. Go check out her YouTube site where she is expanding the world of creativity through her YouTube videos. So great to have you guys here this morning. Program alerts. So tomorrow night on Primetime Saturdays with Aisha and Lala, they'll be talking about a lot of things that are going on socially and political in the United States. Sunday afternoon at 5 p.m., I have two individuals from the Black Health Professionals Organization of Ontario who have been working, getting, again, Black African refugees situated and set up in Ontario, in Toronto. They'll be going on there. And then Monday, I have Sean DeFreitas of Rosiak Management Consultants, and he's going to be talking about financial stuff. We're continuing on what Wayne's going to be chatting about today, but from an accountant or taxes lens, getting your stuff, especially if you're a business owner, getting your stuff ready end of year so you can have everything set so when you get your taxes done next year. So we have all those things going on. Good morning, Ray McMillan, to December, the home stretch. Yes, the home stretch. And I know that when Wayne comes on, I remember a long time back, he said to me, I got to get my appearance game up, because when Wayne comes on, he knows that he's got, that Ray McMillan is watching him, the way he's got himself situated. So that's going on. What I'm going to do, we'll wait till halfway. So first Friday of every month, we have Wayne Harris, longtime friend, great associate, who comes on and gives us lots of game when it comes to financial stuff. And no change today. First Friday of this month, Wayne Harris is in the house. What's going on, Wayne?
Good morning, doctor. How are you?
Blessed, highly favored, a magnet for miracles, solution for someone's problem, and Black Alicious. What about you?
Man, life is good. Life is good. I'm excited. Happy December 1st. And this, Ray says it's a home stretch. As the Trinidadians would say, it's the last lap.
Yes.
Right?
Absolutely.
The party done.
Yes. Hey, you were in an event, because I follow you on Instagram, with Michael Pinball Clemens.
Correct. So the Pinball Clemens Foundation had an event for students that were in university or college, working with their programs and their scholarships. And they had, I would think, about 100 kids, and they had a number of mentors, and it was amazing. So it was about 2 mentors per table, easily 25 tables, and we imparted our wisdom. They asked us questions, and Pinball is helping them get jobs and get them placed in companies all over Toronto and all over Canada. I met kids from Manitoba, Quebec, Ottawa.
You're kidding.
It was kids from all over the country that he's helping. So it's fantastic. And it was my first time, so I didn't quite know what to expect, but it was a first-class event, first rate at the X Hotel right there off the lake shore, valet parking, the whole 9 yards, great food, and it was amazing. So I'll be coming back. It'll be great.
So were you attending as a mentor, or were you just invited to the event?
I was a mentor.
How did that happen? I'd be curious to find out more about that.
Yeah, I was invited by Ray Williams.
Okay.
So Ray, Uncle Ray, another Ray. Seems that Ray is a very powerful name.
Powerful. In the community. Both Rays I know are very powerful people.
Very powerful. And Ray said, "Hey, please come and join." And I went. He had a number of people there, and I was blessed. Craig Wellington was there as well.
Nice.
There were a few police, Mercedes-Benz, a number of companies were there. It was really, really first class. Very, very well run organization and event.
I'm going to ask a favor. Could you, or if I reach out to Ray and use your name, wanting to find out more about maybe getting involved with that, are you okay with that?
100%. Okay. I'll broker it for you.
Yeah, please.
Unless you already have Ray's contacts and do it yourself.
Well, you know what? I'd like you to you make it happen. Like, I haven't spoken with it. Obviously, you have a little bit more interaction than I do. He knows who I am, but it always helps to have the leverage of an esteemed gentleman like yourself.
100%. Consider that.
And I love, especially the category of Black men that you mentioned. I say, yeah, that's a place where I need to be, where I can help with positive impact, especially from a Black male lens.
Right. Tonight, they're actually having an event for the Black Opportunity Fund. So I'll be attending that.
Okay. All right. Well, obviously
Ray should be there, and there'll be a number of people there. So I'll talk to Ray tonight.
I appreciate that. Fantastic. Well, end of the year is coming up. It's end of year and financial tips. Before we get into that, give us scope from your lens of financially, what's some of the significant events or some of the things that you've seen from your lens financially over 2023?
Well, 2023 is the year of the, I should have had a fixed mortgage. That's what 2023 is all about. And people who are rolling off of fixed mortgages, up to 40% of them will be renewing in the next 2 years. And the Bank of Canada, again, this is Ray McMillan's lane, is saying that they're going to hold rates pretty much, where they are. So people are going to come into a rude awakening when they have to renew their mortgages. The good news is that the federal government is trying to relax some of the rules for the stress test and some of the rules in terms of being able to shop your mortgage rather than staying with the existing company and not have to deal with the stress test. And Ray can speak more to those when he comes on. But the bottom line is the federal government has made a choice that they're going to help the people who own homes rather than let nuclear winter hit them, so buyers have a better opportunity, because what they're doing is propping up the people who made bad decisions when interest rates were low. So they're really making a call to help those who already have houses versus those who want to get into the market, is my take on what the legislation is looking like. 2, Black Friday, which just happened.
Okay.
Right? So Black Friday just happened.
You're reading my alleged mind. I'm going to let you comment.
Right.
Then I'm going to add on to something to that.
Let me tell you, I received so much junk mail in my mailbox. Everybody begging me to get 50% off, 60% off, 80% off. Listen, I got 100% off because I didn't spend a dime, bro. I did not spend
I didn't either.
a penny. Right? Trust me when I tell you, at Black Friday, when the numbers finally come back, and those numbers don't look great, because I didn't hear about anybody beating anybody up for a microwave or an Instapot or any of these places like it was back in the day. So if Black Friday was soft, we really have to look at the economy slipping into not just technical recession, but recession, where gross domestic product, GDP, is flat or goes backwards 2 quarters in a row. I think we're already there, but the government's not really admitting it.
So I'm going to interrupt you there. I listen to these things. So in Canada, we haven't had 2 quarters in a row with that. But one of the things, I'm just using United States numbers, especially from MasterCard in the United States. They said Black Friday spending went up. But one of the things I want to ask you is that we haven't officially been in a recession. And because it seems that because consumers are still spending to prevent a recession.
Yeah, I mean, you can do that, and the government is kind of saying to you, business as usual. But when I see TD Bank laying off people, RBC laying off people, all the tech companies laying off people, who are these people who still have money to spend discretionary spending, right? If groceries have gone up 10, 11%, gas has gone up, my property taxes went up, right? Everything's gone up. Where are you getting that extra cash? And my mortgage went up almost, I wouldn't say it doubled, but it went up more than any raise I would have gotten if I had a job, put it that way. If you're getting a 1-2% raise, even if you're getting a 3% raise, and your mortgage goes up 50%, you're still in trouble. So where are people getting this money? Well, they're borrowing it. And if you have a home equity line of credit, and Ray McMillan can correct me if I'm wrong, but that's really a loan. If your value of your house drops significantly, they could ask for that money. They can say, hey, listen, I lent you this money on 80% of the value of your house at the time I appraise it. Now, if I ever appraise that house has dropped $300,000, you may need to give me $30,000 or $40,000 for me to get back to the 80%. Now, I don't know if banks are doing that yet. But 2024 is another year, and depending on how much pressure they get, people should be prepared to kind of get all debt. Is one of the things I'm going to talk about in my top 10 list for the end of the year. But one of them is get rid of all consumer debt now. If you're still doing patna, susu, or meeting, and your hand comes up, do not book a trip to Jamaica. Use it to pay off your credit card. Straight facts. Get rid of all consumer debt. Why? Because there's going to be massive opportunities in real estate over the next 24 months. As people start dying and crying to get out, people are leaving $200,000, $300,000 deposits and walking away because they can't close, because they can't qualify at the new rates. So if you have cash and you have great credit, Ray McMillan is your man, and you go out there and you talk to Ray. Ted Evans is also a good man for mortgages. You go out to either one of these guys, and now you have cash and you have good credit. Massive opportunities to get some steals for the first time in like 20 years in Toronto.
Yeah, I was watching a platform last night, and a very credible person in the world of real estate, and she was saying, if you have good finances right now and good finance, this is the time. This is the time, because a lot of people are going to go crash and burn, and you can just scoop up. And that's what the rich people do. Right?
Listen, every 10 years you get this opportunity. 2008, 2009, people were buying houses in the United States for 15 and 20 grand, right? Condos in Miami, $40,000, $50,000. It used to be $100,000 and $200,000. They're picking them up for nothing in 2008, 2009 because people were over leveraged.
It's interesting. Sorry to interrupt. You mentioned that my mother, that's when she ended up buying a condo in Fort Lauderdale for cheap during that time.
Exactly.
In a gated community.
Exactly. So every 10 years around that time, these opportunities come. Your job is to be super cash rich or liquid. So when they come, you're ready to pounce, right? It happened in 2008, 2009. It happened in Y2K and 9/11. It happened in 1990 with Bob Ray. It happened in 1980 with the Iran hostages. It happened in 1970 with Vietnam. It happened in 1960 with Korea. Come on. It happened in 1940. Yeah. We went to World War II.
And this is a funny thing. Like, if people do a little bit of research, just a little, forget about the present. That's things that you and Ray say. Don't look at what's happening right now. Like people, if you watch the stock market is not based on what's happening now. The stock market's based on 6 months, what's going on 6 months from now. They're already moving forward. Before we get back to some comments here, Fitness IQ says, that's so sad with leaving a house, not being able to get the deposit back. You asked for Ted. He's here. Good morning, everyone. This is a great time to increase your wealth for sure. Ray McMillan, correct, Wayne. They will requalify at the HELOC and probably convert it to a term loan mortgage. Worst case, they would call the HELOC rare but possible. I don't know what that acronym
Home Equity Line of Credit. HELOC.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
All right.
So
and then
Ray,
and then Ray says, certainly, Ted, opportunity in crisis, being prepared is the key. So family, if you're watching this live on the replay, you got 3 serious people who know the money land game. So interact with them, please, and thank you. Come back to you. Go ahead, Wayne.
Listen, I can tell you this. More new cars, especially EVs, are being returned to the dealerships and handing back the keys, and they're walking away. Because when you're buying these EVs, and you're paying $1,000 a month because you thought you're going to save on gas, and now you say, I've got $1,000 a month, whether I drive or not. So people are handing back their Teslas, handing back their EVs because they're too expensive. Because if you have a used car, listen, if it costs you $100 to fill your tank, and you're filling your tank twice a month, it's $200 in gas. If you live anywhere but Brampton, you have reasonable insurance. So you're going to pay another $200 in insurance. That's $400. If you have a $500 car payment, that's $500. And $900 now you're paying a month. And then you got to wash your car. You have to maintain the car.
Maintenance,
so you're over $1,000 anyway.
Yep.
Right? If you got a $500 car payment, and no one has a $500 car payment. Everybody I talk to is $230, $240 bi-weekly.
Yep.
It's almost $600 in car payments they have. Then $200 in insurance. Then if they're driving to and from work, because everybody got to get back to work. By the way, the COVID days are over. Working from home.
Wayne, if you go by any GO station, look how many cars are in the parking lot.
Enough. Right? That's $100 a week in gas. That's $400. So you're over $1,200 in expense. So people said, I can bond all that and just get an EV for $1,000. Then they said work from home. Now the EV is not going anywhere, but you still have $1,000 payment because you would have saved the $400 in gas, and it would have been $600. But now you're at $1,000 whether you drive or not.
Yep.
This is the challenge.
Yep.
This is the challenge.
That's one of the things I tell people. They say, oh, do you think I should buy this car, that car? I say, first thing you got to look at, insurance, because whether you're driving that car or not, that's coming out of your pocket every month.
Right. Pro tip, if you combine your auto insurance and your home insurance together, you usually get a discount. Might be up to 15%.
Yes. Absolutely. There's comments here. And she is here. Dr. Tachi, host of Mediascope, the livest program online about media, tech, and pop culture, 5 p.m. Eastern Time, Wednesdays on Instagram. and then 6 p.m. on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitch. And also Ted's chiming in. Correct, Wayne. Buying depreciating value items is a waste of time. Let's buy appreciating assets, real estate, mutual funds, segregated funds, etc., etc. And he also agrees with what Ray is saying too. So we got a triumvirate going on here, family. This year, this is prime time for the morning vibe. So keep it coming. Keep it coming.
Okay.
Continue.
So let's get to our top 10. Number 1, budget. You know, mans are going out there and spending money without knowing whether they have any money left over. Because once you start doing, back in the day when you walk with cash, when there was no cash in your pocket, you stop spending. But now with debit, credit, you don't even feel it. It's just gone. So you have to condition your brain that money is leaving your account. Because when you tap, bink, bink, money's gone.
By the way, one of the things you shared over the last year that I don't tap anymore.
Especially with debit. Do not tap with debit.
I don't tap. I put it, and it's funny because retailers say, "Oh, you can just tap it." No. I'm sliding it in. Thank you.
Yeah, near field communication, NFC. Someone walk by you and they'll tap your card without you even knowing. Your money's gone. And if it's a debit card, you have to fight the bank. But if it's a credit card, they'll give you the money back in 24 hours.
Speaking of which, I have a very close associate that what happened to him is someone was able to read his card with some sort of device.
100%. Yeah.
Like I said, what?
That's how they steal cards.
He pulled out his wallet. And he said that like someone had taken my, and when he called the financial institution, it sounds like someone probably scanned your wallet or had some sort of device. Can you share anything on that?
I can share something on that. It's called near field communication.
Yeah.
And they have to be like, you could be on an escalator, someone walk by you, bloop, it's gone. Right? It's very, very close. This is how they're stealing cars. This is why if you have a car that has a car fob, this fob needs to be at least 15 feet away from your front door, because when they come with these antennas to extend the range of the fob, they will steal the car and they will clone your fob without even breaking into your house. That's why you see these guys putting up these big things that look like coat hangers.
Yeah.
Right? And put it up there near your door, and it's looking for the fob. If the fob is less than 15 feet away, they're grabbing it and they can open your car and drive off as if they're you, because they've cloned the fob digitally.
What?
Yes. So there are these special types of wallets. I can't remember the name, but if you put your cards in these wallets, they cannot get past this like line with lead or something to stop it from being scanned. But take tap off everything but credit cards, because the only thing the credit card company is going to do, they expect a certain amount of loss or shrinkage, and they write it off as business expense. So if you have a credit card with a high balance, consider that you should tell the credit card company, I don't want this card to be able to do more than $1,000 on any given day. Right? Yes. So you lock it down. So if they do get you, they get $1,000, they're going to send you a new card. They're going to credit you back the 1,000, and you keep moving. Okay. But take tap off of your debit, because debit is your money out of your account, and they may or may not get you that money back in short order.
Okay, so Fitness IQ says, yes, I've seen that. And she also says, well, looks like that's on my wish list for my birthday, LOL. So what we're going to do, Ted, I know you've got a question. What we're going to do, we're going to do a quick little spot here. So I'm going to just do this, and we got something coming up right here. Okay, and here we go. So Frequency Event Promotions has a sale now on pull-up retractable banners. A great product, great quality, and great price. $149 plus applicable taxes. Now is the time to get one of these. It's a limited offer. So what you can do, you can call them at 647-317-2170 extension 2. You can follow them on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. You can at Frequency Event Promotions. So please check that out if you can. Also, what we have for them is they also have another offer going on right now, that if you email and say Dr. Vibe and Ryan Knight in the subject line of the email, you'll receive $25 off any additional service t-shirts, hoodies, banners, etc. So email sales@frequencyeventpromotions.com or call 647-317-2170 extension 2, and I'll also be sharing that information in the platforms of where you're watching this live on the replay. So let's get back to Wayne Harris, who is blowing people's mind with fobs. So be careful with your fobs. And let's go back to a question here from Ted. Wayne, Dr. Vibe, I agree. I don't use tap on my credit cards, only on my credit card. Question to Wayne, how effective are RFI wallets? Sorry for getting off topic. No, man, it's all right. It's conversation. Go ahead.
From what I've been told, one of my brethren, shout out to Dell Miller.
Yes.
Dell was offering these a few years ago before anybody even knew about it, and he swears by them. So reach out to Dell Miller and see if he still has any inventory.
What is an RFI wallet?
RFI, radio frequency, stops EMI or stops them from being able to attack the cards. You will not be able to tap if your cards are sitting inside this wallet.
Wow.
It's like a shield, a force field.
Yes.
Okay? From the radio frequency that's coming through on the fob.
And if anyone wants to get a hold of Del Miller, you can reach out to Wayne or myself in regards to that. But that's stuff I had no idea about right off the bat. So number 2.
All right, number 2, emergency fund. You want to have, back in the day before COVID, I would say you need to have 3 months of cash so you do not have to dip into your investments in order to cover a leaky roof, transmission blowing, blowing a tire. You should not have to go into your tax-free savings account for that. You should have an account that is liquid, that's making good money. I now have access to guaranteed interest accounts that are paying over 5%, and you don't have to lock in the money. So 5% with no downside risk. First time in 20 years, now's the time. You can put bags of cash inside that account and make 5% on your money with zero risk. But you need to have 6 months minimum of your expenses in an account in case someone says, thanks, we no longer need your services, and they don't give you a package, right? And EI hasn't kicked in, but you already booked that trip to Jamaica, right? You need to have that money available to you. So an emergency fund of 6 months is the minimum bar in a post-pandemic Canada. If you do not have 6 months, your TFSA should not be your emergency fund. And why I say that, TFSA is supposed to be put in for the money to grow over time. It's not to be used as a checking account. Stephen Harper tried to name it the tax-free investment account, and they lobbied against him because they thought that sounded like only for the rich. Because the rich invest and the poor save. Savings account make nothing, investments make everything. So they said, we're going to make it a savings account. People are using it like a checking account. It's not for that. It's to put money in and let the money compound and grow. If I go to the compound interest calculator and show you what 5% will do for you, it'll blow your mind. And if you have babies and you put this money in at 6-7%, the rule of 72 says, if I take the number 72 and divide it by the rate of return on my money, that's how long it's going to take for the money to double. 72 divided by the rate of return. So the stock market on average brings back 11%. To make the math easy, I'm going to say 10. 72 divided by 10 means the money doubles every 7 years. So if you're 0 years old, your money's doubling every 10 years, and you live to 100, and you're putting in money every month, you can understand how you can become a multi-millionaire just doing that. Okay? So we want people to have 6 months emergency fund. That's tip number 2. Tip number 3, hey, debt. We already talked about this. Get rid of it. You know, they don't pay a cent at certain furniture stores.
Well, later. One of those furniture stores has gone bankrupt.
Exactly. And nobody can save them. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. Right.
Yes.
Right. Listen.
Yes.
When people aren't buying houses and interest isn't cheap, the home equity line of credit that will allow you to gourmet all those rooms for very, very low costs is over. It costs real money to buy couches now. It costs real money to buy kitchen tables now. It costs real money to do the home renovations that we see on HGTV. It costs real money now.
Yeah.
It's not cheap money anymore. So I expect to see Home Depot and these places having some very tough months as people decide that, hey, my kitchen needs renovating. You come to my kitchen, you go, the 80s called, Wayne, they want their kitchen back. I'm not renovating it because it costs too much money and interest to take my money and put it on the kitchen. If you come to my house and you don't like my kitchen, hey, you may never see it again because I won't invite you back. All right?
But you know, it's so interesting, and individuals like yourself, Ray McMillan, and I really have to thank you so much. I had always listened to financial and read financial stories in the past, but I'm even more attuned to them now because, you know, we have a 24-hour news station here online, and at 26 and 56 of each hour, they're giving financial highlight. I'm always tuned in. If I'm driving the car, that's what I'm listening to more than anything else.
Oh yeah, listen, there's going to be massive opportunity. For those of you who know, back before I became a finance guy, I was a tech guy, and one of the companies I worked for was Microsoft. So when I worked at Microsoft would just buy companies, and you know, sometimes they would use the tech, sometimes they would slow down the tech because the company was a competitor. And they'd buy the company and keep the brain trust of the company, but not bring the product to market in its full functionality. They would bring it in over time and add it to the Windows suite. Fantastic game plan. Well, in 2008, when I was at Microsoft, the stock went as low as $19.
Yep.
And a lot of people, because they got the stock for free, sold it.
Are you kidding me?
They're like, it never goes. I remember it being in the cafeteria. People say, it never goes above $30. $19, no big deal. I got it for free. I'll sell it. You look in the driveway, the parking lot at Microsoft in Mississauga, Porsches, you know, Range Rovers. Everybody's got their car because they're using Microsoft stock and they're buying these vehicles. To Ted's point, depreciating assets. Now, me being an agent, I said, think I'm going to hold on to it. Well, brother, I held on to that stock. Last week, that stock was $378.
You know what? I'm going to do something. You're making me keep on going. You're making me
Google that.
I'm going to. You're reading my ledger mind.
$378 with a plan to go to 500 in the next 3 years. Bro, why would you sell what 80% of all computers run? 80%. That's a conservative number. What's it at? It can't be lower. It can't be lower than 340.
But see, this is the thing. Do people have the patience to hold on?
Buddy, listen. Here's what I know. Yes, there's going to be capital gain tax on that, but there's some things I can do with that. But why would I sell it? It pays a dividend. That means it's going to pay me money to hold it, right? And it's only getting more and more expensive. And at some point, it's going to split. That means I'll have double the number of stock. And I just transfer it to my kids. It's unbelievable. And Apple is the same. Amazon's the same. Google's the same. Facebook's the same. There's a bunch of others. Yeah. NVIDIA for the video cards is the same. It's unbelievable.
Oh, gosh. NVIDIA, no, don't even start with that. That's probably the best performing stock this year.
Correct.
At least in the last 2 years for sure. And it ain't going to slow down because NVIDIA are the main manufacturers for AI software chips.
Correct. Okay, let's get back to it.
Okay, hold on. 2 other quick comments here. Ted says, kitchen renovations. He laugh emoji. No need, my brother. Please invite me back.
Yes.
And Dr. Tatcha goes, sheesh. All right, yes. Continue on.
All right, so we have retirement planning. So told you to get rid of the debt. Get rid of the debt that's costing you the most. So the highest interest debt's got to go. So you got debt that's over 21%. Get rid of that first. And then get rid of the lower interest debt because this one is hurting you faster. Remember, the rule of 72 works for you when you're investing, but works against you when you owe money because it's doubling against you faster when the interest rate is higher. So get rid of it. Some of these places are charging over 32% interest. That's a lot of interest. So get rid of it. Get rid of it. I see people buying cars at 26% interest because they pay $150 biweekly for 10 years. 10 years. The car was already 8 years old. You'll be driving metal shrapnel in 10 years. That's an 18-year-old car you finished paying for. It doesn't make any sense. If the interest rate is above 9.99%, you have terrible credit and you should not be buying a car. This is where you get a bus pass, a Presto, and you get out there. Okay? Get your credit repaired and you will get better deals. When you see the advertised rate on the advertising, this is for people with perfect credit, right? People with credit above 680. Okay, if your credit's below 680, fix that, and life will get easier for you.
Yes.
Okay. Retirement planning. Go ahead.
Okay, I'll come to you after you finish this point because I'm going to put something on screen for you.
Okay, put it on screen.
Okay, so family, Wayne was talking about this company, Microsoft, and Wayne was talking about the stock. So let me just, I'm going to put up on the screen the 37-year price history of Microsoft. Okay, so Wayne, let me ask. So you see, family, how it was nice and low, 2005, 2010. It was nice and low. So back in 1995, the price for a stock, $2.72.
Oh, God.
September 2000, $21.60.
Yep.
It then went down for a while.
Yep.
May 2005, $17.75.
Yep.
2007, $21.95.
Yep.
Still low, even 2012.
Yep.
May 2013, $27.69. Then it started to jump. $40, 2014. $79, 2017. Let's look at 2018, end of year 2018, $95.63.
Mm-hmm.
Look, end of year, let's go. Basically, end of year 2020, $216.
Mm-hmm.
It hit a peak of $289 February 2022. Then it dropped, which probably a lot of people said, oh, I'm going to sell it, and probably sold it. Like even a little over a year ago, September 2022, $233.
Yep.
Family, right now, Microsoft is at $326 and climbing.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir. 3 bags full, sir.
So
yes, sir.
1996, actually, back in 1994, September, $2.24 to today, $315.11.
Yep. I work with Microsoft millionaires, people who they get gifted shares every year as a bonus. You wouldn't get cash, you get stock. And these people didn't pay anything for the stock. They were Microsoft millionaires, and they were working their job like everybody else. Receptionists who were millionaires. Okay. Houses paid off, cottages paid off, Porsches paid off because they had Microsoft stock, and they had tens of thousands of shares because they'd been there 20 years. One of the ladies' name was Pat. She used to wear overalls, and you couldn't tell her nothing. She was employee number 2 in Canada.
Wow.
Okay. I see Pat and say, what's going on, Pat? Pat's in the finance department. Pat wears overalls and T-shirts every day. Can't tell Pat anything. Pat worth more than everybody on that floor. Right? When I saw it go from buying CD-ROMs, remember, you had to get floppies. You had to load up all the floppies from Microsoft Office.
Yep.
Then it went to CDs. Then it went to subscription.
Mm-hmm.
And they said, what? You don't own the software. We own the software. You pay us every year for the software. That's when it changed. They moved from on-premises to cloud. and Azure and building software in the cloud and having the cloud feed you over a high-speed connection versus you having the software on your desktop, that was the move. Then they did another thing. They said, thank you, Bill Gates. Next. Steve Ballmer came in and did more of what Gates was doing. They said, next. And they brought in this guy who's a genius, Satya, Indian guy who runs the company. As soon as Satya came in, up went the stock because he went all in on cloud, all in on AI. And they own 50% of Open AI, which is Chat GPT. And they're probably going to end up owning the whole thing at some point.
Yeah, that's going to happen.
And that's where it goes. So once Microsoft got his vision back, Stella got her groove back, Microsoft got his vision back, and people started believing in the stock again. Listen, it's still cheaper than Amazon, still cheaper than Google, right? Still cheaper than Apple.
Yeah.
But it has more market share than all of them. It can only go one way.
Yeah.
Right? 80% of devices have Microsoft on it. Okay. Retirement. Let's talk about retirement. RSPs are great. If you make over $80,000, or if you want to see Ray and Ted and you want to buy a house. Because the first-time buyers program allows you to use $35,000 of your RRSP. Okay? So if you make less than $80,000, you're not buying the RSP for the tax deduction. You're buying the RSP because you're using it as a saving mechanism to use that money tax-free to go buy a house. When you buy the house with the RSP money, you have to pay 1/15 of what you borrowed every year back for 15 years. If you don't, it becomes income for you in that year. So let's say you borrowed $15,000 and you put it down in the house. You got to pay back $1,000 every year into the RSP. If you don't do that, they're going to say that $1,000 becomes income for you in that year that you didn't pay it back. So just pay it back. A lot of people forget about that. 2, a new bucket, brand new for 2023, April 1st. First time homeowners savings account. It's like an RSP, but it's dedicated to buying a house. And you can put $8,000 in this thing every year to shelter it from your income so you don't pay tax on it and use it for a down payment on the house. You get 5 years to put the money in for a total of $40,000. 2023 is almost over. You need to put the 2023 money in 2023. So you've got 30 days to put that 8 G's in to this brand new bucket. If you don't know where to put it in, call your boy and I'll put it into an account for you. And the account will be earning 5%, no risk, until you buy your house. So you got bucket number 1, $35K RSP. Bucket number 2, first-time homeowner savings account, $8,000. So that means now, at the end of 5 years, if you wanted to buy a house, you would have $35,000 from the RSP and $40,000 from the first-time homeowner savings account. And there's things we can do with couples, because if you have more money in the RSP than $35K, take some of that money and put it into the first-time homeowners savings account. So you get $35,000 from here and $8,000 from here, tax deferred. It's beautiful. Talk to me and I'll show you how to work with that if you're a couple, and how you can play with that. If somebody has a whole lot of RSPs and the other person has nothing, we can now work with some of those mechanisms to even out those buckets, because that's a $75,000 each. So you come into the market with $150,000 to buy a house, and you will need it. But this is the tax-free way to get it. Third bucket, tax-free savings account. Like I mentioned before, use it for investing, not for saving. You have $6,500 a year you could put in there. And as of this year, you could put in, what was it? 88,000 was last year. So 88,000 plus 6,500. 95.6, 95.5, 96.5. That's what you can put in to a tax-free savings account. Maximize it for 2023. If you were 18 years old in 2009, all the way to 1988, you should have all that room. Over $88,000 of room to put that money in there and never pay tax on that money again. And if you put it in an insurance company rather than a bank, that money will transfer to your named beneficiaries tax-free, creditor protected, bypassing your estate and will. But if you have it in a bank, you're going to give money to Trudeau and Doug Ford. Your choice. Okay? Same rates of return, but with much superior benefits and no tax. Making money is one thing. Paying no tax is another. Doing both is fantastic. Okay.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Before we go on, going back to we were talking about stocks and fitness IQ can goes, sigh. I wanted to get Indivia when it's last little, and then she goes madness, and she also says stock option at a company is key. Ween community, how can someone get in contact with your guest speaker? I put it on the screen. I'll put it on the screen again. I will find it. Yeah, there you go. That's how you get in contact with him. And actually, I know who that is who's watching, so you can tell them that you know me. I know who that is who's watching. So definitely get in contact with Wayne. Use me as a reference. I know who that is from Wayne Community Center. So fantastic. Continue on, Wayne.
Okay, so that's taxes. Hey, tax-free savings account is your jam. It is, something designed for everybody to put money aside that you do not get a hit when you remove the money. So you put 5,000 in, it earns money. You want to take the extra out, keep the 5,000 in. You can use that money for whatever you want to use. Hopefully something that's going to make you money. Okay, after that, insurance. We have to do an insurance check. I want everybody listening to this to follow something called DIME. 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 D stands for debt. I want you to add up all your debt that is not your mortgage. Add it all up. All the credit cards, all the car payments, all the furniture payments, all the school loans. Add it all up. Debt. Once you have that number, I want you to add up I. I is income. All the income that you would want your family to have, and for how long? Do you want them to have a year if something would have happened to you? 2 years? 5 years? You got a 2-year-old? You want to raise that 2-year-old to 21 if you're here or not? You may need 19 years of income replacement if you got a 2-year-old and you want them to have money to 21. So they can at least finish university if you're not here, as if your income was here. That's why you have income replacement. So D is all your debt. I is income. M, mortgage. You want the mortgage or mortgages to be zero for the person that's surviving you. You don't want any mortgage payments. Get rid of it. Do not buy creditor insurance from the bank. It's probably one of the worst products ever made, but the bank has a fiduciary duty to tell you to get insurance. When you pay a premium for mortgage insurance at a bank, you're paying a premium to protect the bank, but you're not protecting your family. The mortgage will be mortgage free, but there'll be no money for final expenses, no money for taxes, no money for income replacement. For the same amount of money that you would pay for that product from the bank, I can get you an insurance policy for much less that will cover the mortgage and everything else that I'm talking about here today. Okay? So do not, and if you have it, call me. We can get rid of it and replace it with a personal insurance policy, because the underwriting is the key when the underwriting happens. Underwriting is what are the terms and conditions of when you die. We do that up front. So once you get approved, you're approved. They have 2 years to contest it, but after 2 years, this policy will pay out. Whereas with a mortgage or creditor insurance, underwriting is done when you die. And if you die from something the bank doesn't like, they may not pay. Did you know that? Did you know? All right. Okay. Again, Ray and Ted, keep me honest. But this product is not a very good product. It's a very good product for the bank, but it's not a very good product for families. Next, what we want to do is we want to look at E, education. If you happen to be in Quebec, English education in Quebec, if you live outside of Quebec and you're English speaking, you want to go to school to McGill or Concordia, my old school, you're going to pay double what a French person is going to pay to go to a French university or French college. New rule.
Wow.
Yeah. No discrimination in Canada, right? Yeah. So if you're in Toronto and your child wants to go to McGill and they speak English and they want to go to Quebec, they're going to pay double tuition because they're English in Quebec. It's madness, bro. Right? I love me some Montreal, but these rules are like, I don't understand. So let's get your insurance. So D, all your debt. I, how many years of income replacement do you want your spouse to have if you're gone? 1 year, 5 years, 10 years to get the children to 15, the youngest child to 15, the youngest child to 18, youngest child to 21. Pay off the mortgages, and then put away $100,000 for education, because my kids had a university right here. in Mississauga. U of T, Mississauga, don't want to go. Guess where they want to go? Oh, they want to go to Hamilton. Hamilton, I want to go McMaster. Oh, where do you want to go? I want to go Laurier. Where? Waterloo. Well, guess what? They got to live out there. They got to live out there. Guess what? They got to pay rent now. Food now. They could have commuted, had 2 cars in the driveway. Don't want to go to UTM. Want to go to McMaster. Want to go to Laurier. Hey, kids get what they want. Off they went. But guess what? $100,000 later per child.
Wow.
Let me ask anybody on here who has as a Jamaican would say, little youths. Pick me. If you have these kids and they're small now, do you think university is going to be more expensive or less expensive when they get?
Wayne, what happened to the days of us just like I live in Scarborough. I went to UT Scarborough campus. I was sad that I didn't get accepted downtown, but I'm glad I went to somewhere that was 20 minutes bus ride from where I lived.
See, people don't want home cooked food. They want shawarma. I can't make shawarma. They want shawarma, Dr. Vibe.
That's joke. Okay, so Wayne, Ted says 100% Wayne. I start with credit insurance, but educate my clients to end with their own individual insurance for all the reasons you mentioned.
Thank you. It's a beautiful
thing. And also too, family. I have to apologize for in the past, but what I'm going to do going forward. Wayne's contact information, if you're watching this live on replay, is now in the comments section. So my apologies. I should have thought about that before. But if you're watching this live on replay or going forward, I will always have his in not only on screen, but whatever platform you're watching this, you'll have his contact information, because I understand getting it from a screen. And if I don't keep it up long, you can't see it. Well, it's in the comments section. Go ahead.
Beautiful. Number 7, investment strategy. Listen, you put all your eggs in one basket and the basket drops. Listen, I own other stocks other than Microsoft. Trust me. And I have other investments other than stocks. Got some real estate, have some segregated funds, have some other things that I'm doing. Why? Because when a basket drops, I do not want it to drop on my head. One of the things I notice about our community is because we don't know, we are very risk averse. Very risk averse. So here's the deal. If the stock market has historically returned, the U.S. stock market, 11% over time. It's gone up, it's gone down, but it's returned over time 11%. If you're not in the stock market, you rob yourself of an opportunity to make 11%. Rule of 72. 72 divided by 11. It's like 6 and some odd years. The money will double. 10,000 will become 20,000 in less than 10 years. Why wouldn't you want to be in the stock market? Especially when you're young, when you have less responsibility, living at home. And for those of us who are older, there are safer bets with lower risk that will still pay better than any bank could ever pay you on a GIC. Now, if GICs are making 5% plus with no risk, and you have your money, GICs, and which are taxable and go to your state, not what I recommend. GIAs are non-taxable, bypass your state and go to your dependents, name beneficiaries, tax-free. I recommend those. If you can get 5% on that money with no risk, why are you saving your money in credit unions and other online banks that pay less than that? And if it's in a bank, you know it's going to be taxable. You do not want your money in a bank. You want your money in an insurance company. It will do the same thing, but the money will go to your name beneficiaries tax-free. So it's not about asset accumulation only. It's about asset preservation, preserving the asset. So in order for you to feel better about investments that you don't understand, I do, and everyone you talk to who is an advisor should be doing this, but I noticed some people aren't. It's an investor questionnaire to see what your level of risk is. I want to know what your risk tolerance is. I'm going to ask you about 10 questions, maybe 15 questions. Hey, how old are you? How do you feel about this? How do you feel about that? And at the end, I'm going to score it, and it's going to give me your investment risk tolerance. Once I know your investment risk tolerance and I know your timeline, how long are you going to keep the money for? 5 minutes? Zero risk. 5% in GIA. Done. No downside. The money's there when you want to buy your house. But if you're 45 and you're going to retire at 65, we got 20 years. Why are we playing, base hits when we can hit home runs? We got 20 years. So what's your risk tolerance? high or low, and what's your timeline, short or long? The longer it is, the more risk you can take on in general. But whatever you tell me your risk tolerance is, I will only bring those types of investments to you so you can sleep at night. It's a sleep at night test. Can you sleep at night? Are you nervous and waking up in the middle of the night because you think Wayne's going to lose your money? Well, money, unless it's a fixed income investment, money can be lost. But how much money can you lose? Some people are saying, I'm comfortable with losing $500, but I'm willing to make $1,000. Some people say, I'm willing to lose $5,000, but I can make $10,000. Different risk tolerances. We're going to go through a questionnaire where you will know what your risk tolerance is, and I will only bring to you those things that fit your risk tolerance. And we do that every year to make sure that as it changes, different things change. You get married, you have kids, the kids are grown, they move out, you sell the house, you cash rich, different things are happening. We make those adjustments as your lifestyle changes. Make sense?
Absolutely. Just want to shout out on Instagram Live, Scotian with the Potion, Carlos Phoenix, good to see you. And God is my rock. We are talking with Wayne Harris about end of year financial tips, because that is what he does all year round, not just end of year. Have a question here from Facebook. Shelly says, hello, Shelly. Good to see you. How do we invest in a GIA if not through a bank?
Through a bald, bespectacled, gray bearded Bajan named Wayne Harris, whose contact information is in the chat and now on the screen. That's how you do it.
Well, that's to the point. Let me just put the contact information on the screen. It's in the comments section wherever you're watching live. But that was a good comeback, man. That was a good comeback.
All right, so let's look at it. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Wayne, please.
All right, so let's talk about financial literacy. Hey, listen. You're either ripening or you're rotting. There is no Stacy's. You're ripening or you're rotting. You're getting better or you're getting worse. How do you know? Well, I go through something called a financial needs analysis. It's complimentary. In Bajan, how you say it in Bajan? It's free. I will walk you through. It's going to take about 60 minutes. Come with all your numbers. Know all your bills. Bring your statements for your investments and what you got from your bank. Bring everything, all your debt. Bring it to the table. Everything in complete confidence and privacy, right? I'm licensed to do this, what I'm doing here in 5 provinces, soon to be 6. And I have agents affiliated with me in the United States. Come and do a financial needs analysis. And we'll see where you're at. And we'll see what it is you want. And based on what you want and where you're at, we work out a plan, and then we work the plan. Okay? It's very, very straightforward, and it's free. So at the end of it, if you don't want to work, you don't want to work with the bald-headed Bajan, take it and go.
So Shelly says, LOL, thank you, bald-headed Bajan. But it goes back, and I've saved this, and I remember, and I've saved it for you in your 3 questions. Where are you?
Yes.
Should be now, not no. So let me correct that. So I don't want to. Okay, so let's do this. Wayne will ask you, where are you now? Faith, family, finance, fun, and fitness. Where do you want to go? And how do I get you from here?
Yeah, from there to here. That's it. That's all I do every day. I love it. It's great. All right, let's go to number 9. Set financial goals. When you drive to Montreal, it's very hard to get there if you drive west. 401. Right? If you're in Toronto and you want to go to Montreal, you drive west, you're going to end up in London, Ontario, not in Montreal. So it's the financial needs analysis is your map for you to get to your financial goals. So let's set goals. Hey, you want to make more money next year? Here's what Brian Tracy says. In order for you to make more, you have to become more. I'll say it again. You want to make more, become more. You're adding $40,000 worth of value, you make $40,000 a year. You are adding $100,000 worth of value, you make $100,000 a year. You add $1 million of value, you make $1 million a year. LeBron James adds $35 to $40 to $50 million a year in value. So LeBron James gets that per year. Steph Curry, the same thing, right? But a doctor at Princess Margaret's
It's
What's that?
interesting, just to interrupt. And the value they're adding is not from what they're doing on the court.
Right. So if someone is a doctor at one of our great hospitals here in Ontario, they're a surgeon. They might make $1 million. They're saving lives. They're doing cardiac, taking hearts out and replacing them, taking lungs out and replacing them, taking kidneys out and replacing them, and they make $1 million. But LeBron dribbles a ball, $50 million is what the value it is. And you don't set the value. Society sets a value for you. So are you doing things of low value? Or are you doing things of high value? Okay. Set your financial goals. Then, last but not least, it sounds self-serving, but it's not. Guess what? I don't fix my iPhone myself. I have a problem. I go to Apple. I line up there in general population. I book my appointment, and the genius, fixes it. I have a car. I open the hood to put windshield washer fluid in and check the oil. That's it. Why? Because I've got a guy, Ali, and his father, Chevy, and they do a fantastic job in taking care of business for my vehicle. They're the experts. I'm not. Then I look at people when it comes to finance. Mans want to do it themselves. Why? My services to you are free. So come and get a professional to help you navigate your finances. What do you have? What do you want? Where do you want to go? What's your risk tolerance? What's your timeline? So you can retire, so you can buy a house, so you can buy a car, so you can go on vacation, so you can help your parents. What do you want to do? Let me guide you and help you with that. Okay?
There we
So
go.
that's the 10. So let me go through the list. It's 10 o'clock, right on time. Man, I love it. So review your budget. Got to get that done. Emergency fund. Got to get that done. Debt management. Retirement planning. Tax efficiency. Insurance check. Dime. Investment strategies. Financial literacy. Set financial goals and seek professional advice.
Bam.
That's
bam,
it, boys
bam.
and girls.
All right. Just want to say hello to Carlos Phoenix, longtime live streamer from the US. Good to have you here. I saw that you were on Instagram, but you came over onto YouTube. Fabulous. Shirley, good to see you as always. As always, good to see you. I have something I want to read to you that I just came onto last night, and I want your opinion on this. It's from someone that you and I know. I'm not going to say who it is, but I think you'll know who I'm talking about, a certain Black gentleman that we talk about offline. He said he sent something last night on his mailing list. Here are a few ways to know. Here's a few ways to know if you might be a financial slave. Number 1, you have so much debt that it keeps you up at night. Number 2, your key life decisions are being made due to financial implications rather than what makes you happy. Number 3, you don't feel financially secure. Number 4, you base value judgments of others on financial and material status. And number 5, you can't quit your job or survive longer than 4 weeks without income.
Wow. Let me tell you, most Canadians are 2 paychecks away from being homeless. Not 4, 2. That's a month. 2 paychecks, and all of a sudden the water's rising. And listen, if you're drowning, Dr. Vibe, whether you are in 4 inches of water and you can't raise your head, or you're in 8 feet of water and you can't raise your head, do you drown any less in 4 inches of water than in 8 feet of water?
You're still going down.
Still going down, Dr. Vibe. And people are still going down. So my job, my mission is simple. Find you where you're at and throw you a life preserver. That's all I'm doing every day. I'm throwing it in the water and I'm pulling people out. I'm throwing it in the water and pulling people out. You know what? Some people say they don't like the rope. They don't like the color of the little life preserver that I'm throwing to them. They don't like the color of it, right? They don't like the color of the boat or the name on the boat, Dr. Vibe. They're in the water, they're drowning. But they don't like the color of the boat, Dr. Vibe. You hear what I'm saying?
Yep.
I'm talking to people.
Ego.
Brother, listen.
Ego.
Never have truer words been said.
Yep. And that's energy going out instead of energy going in.
If your parents were not wealthy if your parents were not wealthy, it's incumbent on you to become wealthy, because the things that they did not have access to, you have access to. So for you to live at the same level as them, when they had zero Dr. Vibes, zero Rig McMillan, zero Ted Evans, zero Wayne Harris's, they did not have access to us, and they would not discuss it. They would go to church and they'd pray for someone to come into their life to help. Well, those prayers have been answered by the Dr. Vibe show. The prayers have been answered by all the guests who come on the Dr. Vibe show, which is designed for you in the community to win. Whether you're in the community or you're an ally of the community, we give you the information on this show every week to make you better, so you can add more value, so you can earn more or make more or go into business for yourself, whatever. We're giving you the tools. The question now becomes, none of this matters if you don't take action.
You know, like one of the phrases I use so often now: make a decision and take action.
That's it.
It's not complicated, but for others it is complicated. And during this year, I've made some decisions and taken some action. Wayne knows.
Yes, 100%.
Wayne, I've taken action and I feel better.
Listen, MIA, Dr. Vibe, you know what MIA means? Not missing an action. Massive, immediate action.
Yeah. Like financially and health-wise. Family, I had no thoughts about doing what I'm doing with Carolyn in regards to my health change, but it's making me better.
Exactly.
It's making me better. We're going to just stop on Instagram now. Thanks for watching on Instagram. If you want to catch a complete conversation, go over to the Dr. Vibe Show YouTube channel. Remember, don't just manage your time, manage your energy, and remember to give yourselves grace. Thank you. And then, so we got some people. Tim Frey jumping in the house. Hello, Mr. Frey. Hello, Mr. Frey. Carlos Finos, I'm almost there now. No shame. I don't know what you mean. Are you almost there in you're getting to your goals or wanting to talk about? If you want to talk about them, this is the guy I highly recommend. Even though you're in the U.S., he can still help you out. No problem. He has agents in the U.S. And Ray, yes, Dr. Boyce was on point with those 5 points. That's who I said those points were from him. And then Shaneke Hall says, I tried getting to your website. It doesn't work for me. Okay, I will check on that. No problem. But you're here now. That's the key thing.
The Dr. Vibe website or my website?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to understand. Shaneke, are you trying to get to contact with Wayne or myself? So before we sign off, if you can get that message in. And Shaneke Hall, she's all the way out in Alberta. So
I got it covered. I got it.
Yeah, but she is, and we have great conversation. We had a great offline conversation on a suggestion that she's made, and I'm delving more into it. Oh, he says Wayne's website. No,
there is no website.
There's no website. There is no website. It's just his contact information.
Calendly.com/Wayne Harris.
Let me put it. And also, Shaneke, if you look in the comments section on Facebook, and if you just scroll through the comments, his contact information is there. Yeah. And I've also put it up on the screen. So that's a perfect reason why now I'm glad I put it in the comment section, because it's there. You can go through and scroll through and get it. Exactly. Wayne, I want to say thank you again for taking time out of your positive, productive schedule, not only today, but this year, and making this a better place and making people better.
Dr. Vibe, I appreciate you even coming up with a concept of me coming on for the first Financial Fridays. It's been one of the things I look forward to at the beginning of the month, because when I take my own advice, I win. I come on the show, someone gives me some information, I go take massive immediate action, and I win. My clients win, my team wins, everybody wins with Dr. Vibe. So this is something I'm going to continue on into 2024.
Well, look, excited.
If you'll have me, Dr. Vibe.
Absolutely. And
I'm in.
The wonderful thing is that I think we've always had that since we've met each other. We don't want to win in us. We want to win through us.
Facts.
So Shaneke, because, okay, she goes, oh, okay, got it. So Shaneke, I'm hoping that I'm watching you, because I'm waiting to hear from Wayne. Tell me she reached out to you. So we got you on a digital footprint. This ain't going nowhere unless Zuck or Google shuts down YouTube or for Facebook. We've got a digital footprint on it. So what plans do you have over the holiday season, Wayne?
Yeah, thinking about getting out of Toronto for the holidays. We're still, weather dependent.
Mm-hmm.
We might not be here for Christmas, but we're still deciding on that. Depends on what the kids have, because it's still hot girl summer and hot boy summer for these young people, right? they're up in the clubs, during Christmas, going to all them white and all them black parties. That train has left my station. I'm not a part of that anymore. I'm all about a nice drink, some nice food, some friends, maybe some dominoes, some Uno. I'm chilling. I'm watching Ryan Seacrest on a New Year's Eve. I'm chilling, Dr. Vibe.
You look at this. Ted says, and Ted, good conversation, guys. Looking forward to many more shows. Have a blessed week. I just came up with an idea. I'd like to see if we could do a morning vibe where we have yourself, Ray, and Ted on.
Woo! Let's do it. Add the bad man from Durham region, Roger Dundas.
Oh,
yes.
That would be out of bounds. That would be out of bounds. And it's interesting. And you see, Ted says, "Wow, that's fire." And Dr. Chachi says, "Thank you as usual, Wayne, for your great insight." And Fentnance, I was about to add Roger too. Well, we're going to work on that and talk about epic conversation. Thank you, Dr. Tachi. And this, again, some of this will be going on her network also. Wayne, what would you like to see one thing many of us do in the upcoming year? Anything on here? Is there anything that you've left out that you wanted to include, whether it's personally or professionally?
I would like, honest to God, everybody and their brother who's on here, if you can hear my voice, live or recorded, get yourself, if you're over 18 years old, and get yourself an up-to-date, notarized will, living will, and power of attorney. Do not leave it up to the judges like the UFC. Do not leave it up to the state or the province to decide where your assets go. I don't care what the size of your assets are. To leave a dime to the government that should go to your family, to leave a dime to tax that should go to your family, does not make any sense to me when you're paying. I don't even want to talk about all the taxes I pay. Property tax, water tax, gas tax, liquor tax, school tax. What? Sales tax. Carbon tax.
Carbon tax.
Are you kidding me? And I was in a 53% tax bracket? And all those taxes on top of that? Listen, yes. Why would you give another dime to our government willingly?
Yeah.
You're doing yourself and your family and your legacy a disservice of not having it in place. And that, coupled with insurance, will guarantee that you're not asking me to donate to a GoFundMe, which is not estate planning. It is not. It is lazy adulting.
Whoa.
Yeah, I said it. GoFundMe is lazy adulting. And I'll go on the record. I will not provide a dime to anyone who's ever heard me speak about this subject and does not have it in place. I will not donate to the GoFundMe because you knew better. So as Maya Angelou said, if you know better, do better. Don't let it happen to you. Get to me. Get to someone if you don't like me, because bald-headed Bajans are everybody's jam. Bearded, bald-headed Bajans are not everybody's jam.
The triple B threat.
Triple B, right? Maybe the triple B is not for you. Listen, I've got 26 other agents on my team. Somebody nicer and calmer, you can talk to them, and they're trained by me, so they will do the right thing in the right way for your modality. But my job is to not insult you. I don't want to insult you. I'm not looking to shame you. I'm looking for you to level up in this area of your life. And no one is checking for us. The fact that you're this age and been going to the bank your entire life, and you come on this show, you learn something new, tells you you've been getting the okie doke. You've been hoodwinked. You've been bamboozled. Okay? That's all I'm saying.
All right. So last two comments for you. Open says excellent information. And Shelly goes, I agree with the comment about GoFundMe. I don't contribute to them either, especially when some of us now have access to information. There we go.
That's all I'm saying.
All right. And Fitness IQ goes true. All right. So as always, my brother, you and your family, don't just manage your time, manage your energy. Make sure you okay. Look at Tim says, "Hey Wayne, speak for yourself. This bald-headed patient is the jam."
No lies told by my boy Tim. No lies told.
Okay, fantastic. We'll be talking. Looking forward to. Thank you for a great year and even better next year. And give yourself grace, my brother. Keep it
Happy
going.
holidays. Happy New Year. See you in January, Dr. Vibe. Peace.
All right. Keep the faith. All right, family. That is Wayne's contact information. And I love that last comment, Tim. That was good. That was fire. Really, really good. So let's start closing it down here for today. So let me just do some things here. All right. I have another comment here. Frequency Event Promotions goes, thank you, Sir Wayne. All right. And another one here, anyone that's been part of the Black Moms Connection definitely knows that GoFundMe things now run. There you go. That's right. And Frequency Event Promotions, great show, Dr. Vibe. Hey, it was not me, it was all of us and Wayne. All right. So let's do some final things here. So, okay, please subscribe to the Dr. Vibe Show on YouTube. Hit the subscribe button and the notification button so you get notified of upcoming conversations. Also, share it out. Tell people about it. Please and thank you. Join the Morning Vibe Discord group where we keep those conversations going. Those 5 things, I'm going to put those 5 things in the Discord group that about you may be signs you may be under financial stress. Also, if you're up to it, please advertise your business, product, or service on the Dr. Vibe Show or any of my platforms. Email me, dr.vibe at the drvibeshow.com. Also, coming up tomorrow night, Primetime Saturdays with Aisha and Lala. We'll be discussing a lot of things going on politically and socially in the United States. This Sunday, we have 2 representatives from the Black Health Professionals, the Black Physicians of Ontario, talking about helping African refugees. Their organization has been very instrumental in getting African refugees settled into this country. That's happening. And then on Monday, Sean DeFriedis of Ziac Consulting talking about taxes, getting your stuff in order, all your stuff for next year, all your stuff this year for next year, and just general tax questions. Always, too, you can watch replays of this epic conversation on, Dr. Vibe Show on Facebook and YouTube, Afro-Caribbean Business Network, Facebook and YouTube, Ryan Oneil Knight, YouTube, and LinkedIn. So there's a whack of comments here. So I'm going to make sure if I get them in at the end here. Frequency Event shouts out to Tim Frey. Yes, please. I don't know what the yes, please is. Officer Tim Frey, but I'm not a good sir. LOL. He says to wait. Gotta get both of them on together. The Bayesian connection. Frequency Event Promotions, Office of Tim Frey. Can we connect? If you want, I can do that. And Carlos Phoenix says, awesome. All right, that is it. Whoa. Fast and Furious, that's this show as always. So as always, I want to say this. Live your life as a dream. If you can dream it, you can make it. Sometimes you have to get smaller to get stronger. Block assumptions, then aim bigger, aim better, aim higher, aim wider. Love, faith, and respect. Remember to give yourselves grace and don't just manage your time, manage your energy. We'll see you on Monday on the Morning Vibe or over the weekend. Again, if you're following me on YouTube, I got 2 more live shows coming up. One tomorrow night, one Sunday afternoon Eastern time. Spread the word out. Remember, don't just manage your time, manage your energy. Remember to give yourselves grace. God bless. Peace be well. Keep the faith and walk good. Peace.